Hi friends, it's Brittany at Ink & Papyrus and welcome back to my channel. 12 by 12, 6 by 6 Michael's paper pads. I don't know, I love them all. And that's why I have ended up with about 10 half-empty Christmas themed Michael's paper pads. Well, today we're gonna focus on a bunch of easy projects you can create at home with that paper you may have left over. We'll be using 6 by 6 pieces as well as the 12 by 12, and a lot of these projects you could use either size. I have a whole host of really fun projects for you. Today we're going to be working on some of the adorable things that you see here. Some of them look amazing in a journal. Some of them are standalones like these Christmas folios. And we're even going to be working on some really cute gift card holders. So there's a project for everybody in here. I hope this will inspire you and help you bust through some of those paper pads. Okay, first project, we're going to be working on these cute little stockings. I call them gift card stockings because they are the perfect size for a gift card. But of course you could use them to write a little note or even use them to hold some tags. Depending on how you could secure them, you could use them as a pocket in front and a pocket in the back if you would like. So you can find a template for these online if you would like, but this is so easy, we're going to cut it out by hand. Is it just me, or is this like the perfect paper for a stocking? This isn't really something that I would say, oh, that's so pretty. I mean, but it kind of is. It's just very like rustic looking. So you just want the top of a stocking. It could be flat, or you could have some little waves in it. It can be any size you want. I like the waves. Okay, and we're going to come down here. And then we just want a little, you can use a ruler to help you. Make sure it's even. We just want a little bit of a divot. So once we get to the ruler, I'm just gonna taper this down a little bit. Taper this down a little bit so it looks like a stocking. And then we're just gonna come down here and make the little boot. All right, come down here. Okay, that looks really bad actually, guys. Sorry. You want a little bit more of a, I think, a taper, so it looks actually like a stocking. That's why I guess maybe I should have encouraged you to use pencil. It's okay. Maybe you come in a little bit more here. That little boot. That's good. Alright, I'm just going to cut this on out. You can make stockings of all shapes and sizes. This one is kind of like a more classic tapering. You see, it almost looks, now that I think of it, just draw like a line down like this and then just draw like a shoe. I think this gives a nicer look, to be honest. But of course, it's totally up to you. I think, let's see. Looks nicer because I did the shoe, and then I came back up, kind of made an out pouching there. That's what we're going to use. All right, I'm just going to cut this out. Alright, oh, that totally looks like a stocking. Just get rid of that little edge there. Okay, and of course, if you are using these as gift card holders, you want to make sure you make something when you're drawing your template. Just put a, an example, even like a credit card here, to just make sure that your stocking is wide enough to hold the gift card. I think I'm just going to use this as a little tag holder, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, now all we're going to do, now you can of course glue this with silicone glue. I would not recommend a wet white glue. Silicone glue should be fine. And I am just going to sew the vellum, the outside of the vellum, to the stocking. You can use any stitch you like. I personally really like the zigzag stitch for this. Just want to make sure this is aligned with the base, I guess the base of the stocking here. Now I'm just going to trim the excess vellum. I like my small little detailed scissors for this. So I think the real magic with these comes in how you decorate the top of the stocking. Here I used some peppermints as well as some trim. This is actually the gold trim I think I have sitting on my desk. So here I used ribbon and some paper and actually put some little stick-ons along the very top of the vellum portion. Let's see. This one I decorated with just some tinsel, and again went along the top of the stocking with some stick-ons. And I love the red stitching. That's perfect. You can decorate the vellum itself. And I just used some stickles, and notice this is like recessed vellum, so I think it's even easier to stick stuff in the stocking if you do this. So I just cut a little pattern along the top of the vellum here. I think it makes it that much easier to get things in and out. I think that since this is so rustic looking, I'm going to use this pine ribbon. And we're just going to keep this very simple and basic. I'm thinking about putting on one of the words on top of the stocking. Yeah, I'm just going to keep this like really basic. That's the easy, the fun part. So I guess I could sew this on. Okay, so I have the ribbon glued down. I love Christmas crafting. Absolutely love it. That's kind of why I started junk journaling in the first place. I love making Christmas stuff. That and like travel journaling and like storing my memories from trips. That is, brown this up. Feels like a brown kind of stocking. We'll spice this one up just a little bit though. I can hear you guys saying, well, that one is boring. Make it look a little distressed, a little more rustic, a little more festive. Just go with some dots if you don't like dots. I was gonna say you can just splatter it, which just like that actually. There we go. And now you have yourself a cute little gift card stocking. Guys, get ready for an absolute favorite of mine. These are Christmas cottages, but they're not just any kind of Christmas cottages. These are Christmas cottage journaling cards. They are tucks, so journaling cards, which obviously if you have one-sided cardstock, this is absolutely perfect for this. You can decorate the back a little bit if you would like. Here's some washi decoration on the back. And I just left a little bit of extra writing room, but you can also use these as paperclip holders. You can, or like make them into altered paper clips. You can use them as tucks and flips. Here is a tuck and a flip. I tuck some little tickets in here. If you're wondering what you can use to make your house, let me just show you a couple of things first, okay? Just some basic ideas. You want a house structure. You're gonna want a roof. You're gonna want windows or a door. But look at all of the different components I used to make these. I used some tinsel or some trim for the roofs. I used some extra ribbon I had left over. Digital images in the shape of an oval for a window, some writing. I created a door just out of some music paper, some ribbon I had left over, strung some lights. Okay, seriously, the possibilities are endless. I used this ribbon that's really hard to work with as a roof, and it's textured just like a roof. I love it. I cut out some ribbon and glitter paper and just cardstock to create these windows, different sizes, different shapes of doors. I put some writing on these houses. Here I just cut out some different size cardstock for windows, a chimney of course, a door. Here I just used some tinsel for a roof, outlined the door with some ribbon, used a stickle to make a door handle, even went over this oval window with Santa. I went over it with some ribbon to make it look like he's peering out of a window. Plants, a whole winter scene there, some holly berries. Really the possibilities are endless with these. So I have to tell you guys, I'm kind of obsessed with the idea of pink Christmas themed stuff. So why don't we make a very fabulous pink themed house? I'm already eyeing up this wreath to just cut out and put on the door of the house. So I'm just gonna snag one of these for that. let's get to working on a cute little cottage. I think I'm going to use this as the base. Now, decide how large you want your house to be. Obviously, you want your cottage will be built around the foundation and everything else will be to size. So when you're deciding on how large you want your cottage to be, you kind of want to ask yourself, what do I want this for? Obviously, if you're making a journaling card and want a large journaling card, you're going to make your cottage structure larger. If you want to use these as like altered paper clips or something like that, you may want to make them smaller. I'm going to make this. Okay. And you might not know what you want to do with it until you have it totally done and created, and that's completely fine. You can create your roof any shape you want. You can glue the roof behind the house or in front of the house. Just gonna do this so it's a little bit easier to work with. You can have the roof kind of hang off a little bit. I like that look. I'm going for it. I do like the triangle kind of looking roof. See how easy that was? No magic here. You can also use these as gift tags. These make adorable little gift tags. You can keep it a little bit more simple and just write, you know, someone's name on your little cottage there. Okay, so I have my cottage done. I love this. This is fantastic. I love the pink and everything about this. Okay, friends, are you ready for a really simple project? This project, these are loaded pockets. You can obviously do this with full-size paper, though they're going to be really large pockets. I love just banging through my 6x6 papers for this. I love cutting out the little cards that come in the paper packs, using them as journaling cards. You can pin these into your journals. You can glue this to a page if you would like. That's what I was planning on doing with these, so I really haven't decorated the backs of any. You could actually make these double loaded pockets and just create pockets on the back as well. The other thing that you might want to do with these is create a few, and if you're creating journals for Christmas that you are selling or giving away, creating some of these loaded paper packs is a perfect way to gift the recipient of the journal a bunch of ephemera and other things that they can use to decorate the journal themselves. Let's see. So just grab yourself a piece of cardstock. All we're doing here, decide whether you want a front or a back. We are just folding a little ear over, and a bone folder is perfect here. I don't have a bone folder next to me, so I just am using my ruler. We're folding a little ear up here, okay, and then we are simply folding the top over. Fold the top down to meet the bottom of your little ears there. Okay, I'm just gonna smoosh it out, make it nice and even. I love these little projects. All right, you could even use these for gift card holders too. Okay, so I'm gonna fold. We could make one large pocket, or we can make several pockets. This is really busy, both sides of this paper. Maybe we'll just make a single pocket. If you wanted a shallower pocket, you could fold just a little bit of this over and then just rip a piece of paper that is the exact same length and just glue just like this. Guys, I'm sorry my camera cut off while we were in the middle of this last project. I think you saw the folds I made. That's really all there is to this, and then gluing paper to create the pocket. Just decorating, putting cute little pieces of scraps you have up top to cover up any of that gummy adhesive you may have, the holes that you may or may not have in your paper. If you don't like that, I cut out these cute little journaling cards from the 6x6 paper pack I had and just went along the front of the pocket with some of this gold gilding wax, and here you have yourself another loaded pocket. So our next scrap busting project, cardstock and scrap busting project, is these cute little Scrappy Notebooks. I've done videos on these before. They're so adorable. They are perfect for journaling, especially around the holidays. If you make larger ones like this, you can even incorporate small little pictures and memorabilia in them, and it is a perfect way to bust through scraps. This is simply a tri-fold Scrappy Notebook. You can sew these. I just use staples. You can put cute little decorations. I tend to just line mine up with cardstock. And especially if you're just using cardstock with one side, I guess one-sided cardstock, sorry, you'll have a whole blank side to journal, whatever you would like. If you decide into working on your Scrappy Notebook, there isn't enough journaling room, you can simply just take a piece of paper and cover part of it to give yourself some extra journaling room, or my favorite, just come along with some gesso and carve yourself out some extra writing room. I love this. And you can make these as small or as large as you would like. I like using my paper cutter just to make sure the pages are even. This is a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And your folds do not have to be precise. There is no measuring that needs to take place. We are simply just gonna fold. You can fold it so it's all even like this, or you can have a little bit of a recess like this to where your cover is just a little bit shorter. And sometimes you kind of just fold it and figure it out as you go along. And this is going to be a little bit of a recessed. Depending on how you fold this, your pages are going to be different sizes. So obviously my pages in here are going to be a little bit wider than here. That's fine. That's a-okay. I'm just going to take some themed papers and we're going to cut some papers down and we're going to line them up. I'm going to make this super easy and I'm simply going to staple these. So I'm just going to grab some papers and we'll be getting to business in just a second. By the way, if your folds are, if the inside is going to require different size pages, here is a really easy way to handle this without having to do a whole lot of measuring. We're just going to make a dot here and a dot here. Make sure your pages are slightly less wide so that the pages hinge fine. And then we'll go from there to, we'll say there to there. And then once you do this and cut these out, you'll have a template. You might want to use your paper cutter if you're not able to actually cut through it like me. Okay, have this. Think that'll fit. No. We can use these pages to, these little templates to measure up against all of our other papers and just cut to size. Okay, so I just cut out 3 pieces of paper just to use this as an example. Like I said earlier, you can stack your papers however you would like. They don't have to be in order. I like to keep mine pretty consistent. Just make sure that they're small enough that you can easily hinge your pages back and forth. And as I was saying earlier, sometimes I will sew these. I'll just sew right along here, right down. Sometimes I staple these and I'll show you a couple ways to hide the staples. If you want to staple them because it's easier but you're not wild about actually seeing the staples. These are also so much fun to make. So easy, as you can see. Really, really fun to decorate. Oops, I'm making this harder than it has to be. And again, a perfect, great way to use up your scraps. I also like these for separate, like if you're making a Christmas journal. I think actually one of the ways I was thinking of using one of mine was a recipe book. So like a recipe book of desserts. So I was thinking about like this Nutcracker one. I was thinking about just putting this, I think this would be really cute. Taking a picture of Christmas cookies. Take a picture of your Christmas cookie, put it on here, and then on the back write the recipe for the cookie. Obviously you might want to make a little bit larger of a book so that you can comfortably fit a picture of the cookie and have plenty of writing room on the back. But just an idea. I decided right away I wanted this on the front. This cute like little merry and bright piece. You could even, if you wanted to really fancy these up, you could punch a hole and create an eyelet. I don't usually do that with these, but you could if you really wanted to fancy it up. Maybe we'll do a little bit more decorating on these. You could cut out one of those little like stockings or presents. How do we do that? Just kind of hang like a little stocking from there. So there are so many cute things you can do with these and so many ways to decorate these. Remember, I promised you guys I was going to try and keep this video short and stay away from decorating a lot of these, especially in detail, so we can move on to the next project. So let's do that now. And now for our next project, these Scrappy Snippet rolls. Guys, these are so easy. Take whatever scrap paper you have left over, and we're just gonna simply feed it through our sewing machine. Now, of course, you could cut up scraps and glue them together, but what fun is that? So once you've fed this paper through your sewing machine, you can actually add paper in while it's going through the sewing machine. Then you can just decorate with little die cuts, extra little pieces of scrap paper you have, words, tissue paper like I have here. Possibilities are endless. Let me show you another one. I decorated this with die cuts. This is what I was showing you earlier in the beginning of the video. I've taken some faux stamps and added them. Absolutely adorable. And the best thing is you can wrap these up really nicely for easy storage, and you're simply going to paper clip these shut. Simply start by taking the scraps you have and cutting them into strips. You want them to be decently long so that they feed through the sewing machine nice, and so that you're not constantly having to grab additional paper. For this project, I like the zigzag stitch. I think it looks really nice. And we are just gonna feed this through just like this. We're gonna line them up. Line them up however you would like. And when we're done, we can keep this train moving as long as we would like, but just by adding additional scraps when we get to the end. I'm going to use a wider stitch. So once, I usually like to decorate one strip at a time, and then once we're done decorating, if we want to add to this, all we're going to do, get papers of, obviously this is not the same width, but get papers of the same width, line up our papers like this, and we're going to send it through the sewing machine just like this. So to start with, we are going to, I usually like to keep the same zigzag stitch, and I'm going to run it through the machine just like this. You can fold this over, run it through just like this, and when you're done putting it through vertically, then you can turn it horizontally to sew all your pages together. So when it comes to decorating these die cuts, words, anything like that, it all works perfectly. Tickets, some pine. Ooh, that might look really pretty. Ooh, what about this little button? I didn't play in this, I promise. I swear this is like perfect. I'm gonna glue these down. But see how easy these come together? And again, perfect way to use up scraps. You don't have to use up die cuts. You can use little scraps of paper you have, tinsel, you can use ribbon. That's gonna be hard to, wish I had a glue stick here right now. You can use up ribbon, tinsel. You can put anything on these washi snippet rolls. That's why they're called snippet rolls, because it's just snippets of stuff. So I'm going to get these down and then I'll show you the finished project. So here we are. This still has to dry, but I'm thinking how cool would this be just as like pockets or tucks. I love this. Absolutely love. Feel free to use kind of repeating patterns like you normally would with washi, depending on what you're using this for. And once it's dry and you've sewn together however many pieces you would like, then just roll it up just like this and secure it with a paper clip. And you have yourself some cardstock washi tape snippet rolls. And now for our last project, the Christmas folio. I love these because, first of all, you can gift these as is. If you have a nice heavy cardstock and create an eyelet and have a closure, I think these look really nice on their own. But also, I like using these as an accompaniment to a larger journal. You can use these kind of like what I was talking about with the loaded pockets, just giving this to someone along with a journal to house bits and pieces of ephemera they can use to decorate their own journal. Or you can just use it as a nice little extra place for your own journal to kind of journal about Christmas memories, maybe store some extra pictures you have from the holidays, sort of whatever you would like. Same thing with here. So simple, guys. This was absolutely, took me no time at all to put these together. We are simply, oh, I love this. I love the pink. I think I'm going to create a pink Christmas journal this year for myself and store this with the journal. So all we're doing is just folding up a piece of scrap paper, sewing the inside, and stashing some of our favorite little goodies inside. So I like the 12 by 12 papers for this project, but really you can use any size of paper that you would like. You probably don't even need me to demonstrate this for you. We are simply folding over, so let's do this first. We're folding our folio in half. Anything that requires folding always goes so much smoother when you have something to fold it with. And then you are going to fold this up as far as you want, depending on how deep you want the pockets to be. And all we're going to do is run this through the sewing machine. I'm not going to sew anything but here, here, here. And you don't have to worry about sewing over this. As long as you have a good fold, it'll still hinge just fine. So I found this cute little journaling card I want to put on the front of this. I wanted it to stand out, so I'm backing it with some gold tissue paper. So in here, I usually like to decorate the pockets a little bit too. I think I might just put a tree on each pocket. There we go. Maybe we'll do that. Oh, I like that. Backed against the white stitching. Okay, not bad. Not bad. I really like the idea of using these to hold pictures. You could hold pictures, recipe cards, any kind of like memorabilia you collect from the holiday. So all I'm going to do is kind of stash some of these. I'll take some more cardstock. I'll probably use a couple of these journaling cards and put those in. Maybe I'll cut down some cardstock. I have some really pretty music paper I think I'm going to put in these. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks for setting the eyelet and creating the closure, and then we'll be done. Alright, so I have my eyelet here. No measuring required, as in with pretty much all of my projects, as you guys know. I am just going to, let me see. I'm going to punch a hole in what I think is center. This is my crocodile, and I'm going to set my eyelet. Oops. Alright, so see how easy that was? There is no magic there. Sorry if I have my head in the way. Now, what I like to do, I'm going to use, I think, this ribbon for the closure. I'm going to show you how I like to create the closure and use a button or bead to hold it in place. You want to make sure you can make it around the folio a couple of times, and we can cut off any excess later. Okay, I'm going to show you. This is the little trick I did with my other ones, because a lot of times you may want to use ribbon that is too thick. Like you're not going to be able to string a bead on here. So I'm going to show you how to get around that and how to secure it to your folio. So I'm just going to create several different cuts here. I'll maybe cut this twice. Okay. You want to make it thin enough that you can easily lay down some knots. Okay. I'm just going to poke this through. All right, so we're going to go left over right. And oops, right over left. And probably one more after this. It is pretty though, and honestly I don't mind the tails. Normally I snip the tails off at the end. I think it's kind of pretty. Let me see if I can like curl it a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Now, I have an extra tie here. I think I'm just gonna cut that off. You see? Now I have my folio, and it wraps around really nice. And now I'm going to do the same thing in order to have a tie thin enough to secure a bead on. I also have this cool thing that I got, this threader. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I got these cool little threader things off Amazon. I think you could find it pretty much at any craft supply store where they have stuff for like in the jewelry making section. But like, look how easy this is. Now this is pretty thick, so it probably doesn't matter that much. But for really thin beads where you're really struggling to get anything through, look how easy this is. It kind of looks like a little pipe cleaner, and all you're doing is putting this on like this and then feeding it through the bead. Oops. Yeah, like that, and pulling it through. Oh my gosh, it makes life so much easier. Oh, so much easier. Like, this works for like a little bit thicker thread and smaller beads. Like, you'd never be able to hand thread it through or thread it through with any other needle, I'm telling you. This thing is amazing. So I got this on Amazon. Like I said, you could probably get them at like just about any craft store, but I will link that below in the description box for those of you that are interested. So I'm just tying a knot. We'll do left over right, and then we'll do right over left, and then tie these together as well. It's a little bit different because of the ribbon, but same concept. And now I think they're all tied together. So we can trim our excess. See how easy that was? And now you can keep it closed, hold them in place, just like that. Oh, I love these so much, guys. So cute. I know it's a little weird with the way the ribbon bends, but still, I love this. I love this so much. This might not have been the best choice. Maybe standard ribbon is probably better. See, I kind of tied it the same just by cutting into the ribbon. So if your ribbon, if you really are dead set on something and it's too thick or the bead is too thin, just slice your ribbon just like this and it works. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the projects we made today. Let's just do a quick review of the cardstock scrap busting projects that we created today. One, we did the gift card stockings. I can get this out of the way. Gift card stockings. Number one, and of course you can use these for tags or whatever you want to put in the pockets. Then we did our Christmas cottages. This one we made on camera. Again, pockets, journaling cards, tucks, flips, altered paper clips, whatever you want to use these for. They're so versatile. Absolutely adore these. Those are the Christmas cottages. Next we made the loaded pockets to hold ephemera and whatever else, journaling cards, pictures, mini pictures I guess they'd have to be, whatever you want to use these for. These are the mini pockets, best made again but with 6x6 paper. Next we made festive scrappy notebooks, of course. Love, love, love these. Then we made our scrappy snippet rolls. Looks like Christmas exploded on my desk. And then we made our Christmas folios. Adorable. Absolutely love these. So guys, I hope this inspired you to dig deep into your stash of Christmas cardstock. Maybe you have too much of it hanging around, maybe you overbuy like me, but regardless, I hope these project ideas helped you and inspired you to craft and use up some of that paper you already have. So guys, if you enjoyed this and found value in this, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you the next time.